Use our featured poet, Lush. Lush is my mentor for my final project in the continued study of University of Toronto. And I'm glad to meet her again. And please welcome her. Thank you.
Hi everybody, thank you so much, Anna. I'm going to start by reading an extraordinary poem by P.K.Page called Autumn. And I think it just demonstrates her versatility with language, and she's got the word knucklebone in here, which is just knocked me off my socks when I read it, so I'm going to start off by that. Actually, it's called Autumn, yes, sorry. Its stain is everywhere. The sharpening air of late afternoon is now the color of tea. Once glycerined green leaves burned by a summer sun are brittle and ochre. Night enters day like a thief, and children fear that the beautiful daylight has gone. Whoever has no house now will never have one. It is the best and the worst time. Around a fire, everyone laughing, brocaded curtains drawn. Nowhere, anywhere is more safe than here. The whole world is a cup one could hold in one's hand like a stone warmed by that same summer sun. But the dead or the near dead are now all knucklebone. Whoever is alone will stay alone. Nothing to do, nothing to really do. Toast and tea are nothing. Kettle boils dry. Shut the night or out or let it in. It is a cat on the wrong side of the door, whichever side it is on. A black thing with its implacable face. To avoid it, you will tell yourself you are something. Fire as fine as a hair to suck it through, fine as a golden hair. Wearing a smile or a frown, God's face is always there. It is up to you if you take your wintry restlessness into the town and wander on the boulevards up and down. So I'm just going to read about 3 poems from Carapace. And Richard, I was in Corner Brook recently reading at Jennifer's Barroom, and when I got up to read, I had the cover out like this, and somebody in the audience thought this was a pot pie. So it's a Carapace, which is equally as strange. I'm going to read a poem about the birth of my son, who happened to be born during the SARS outbreak. And when we went to Toronto East General Hospital that night, it was about 3 in the morning, and it was very, very eerie. It felt like I was giving birth on the moon, because all the doctors and nurses had all these, they're just wrapped in masks and things. So anyways, this is called Birth. Like an arm suddenly unmuscled, the belly now unsprung, legs akimbo as you are airlifted with gloved hands from under the white hospital sheet. You arrive with tufted hair, fingers red and old, a nose that sniffs out milk. Are you some small alien come to snatch my next 20 years, or love that's finally arrived with a yawing pink mouth? For 3 days we lie in the hospital bed as the masked nurse, blip of SARS, wish open the curtain. Dare them to be awed. Elsewhere, the hushed voices of the fathers, their awkward offerings of flour and candy. Tethered to the bed, the wives moan, bodies warred by birth. Life again, this old life somehow begetting you. Let me know how you see all this, later waking up with the sun in your mouth. Let me know how you see all this. So my son's 8 now, and he's gotten to the stage where he now locks his door, and he writes things like Boston sucks on his door because he's a Montreal Canadiens fan. And there you go. He should have come tonight, so I said, today I said, do you want to come to the poetry reading? And he said no, and I asked him again, and he wanted to know how much money I made as a poet, so I told him that once I got a royalty check for $14.59, and I think that's another reason why I didn't want to come today. This poem is called Hammock. New moon, night hushed to a grass swish. A star trick falls and a hound bites his way through the dark. Watch this man swing in a hammock, life spent in the cool liminal pocket of air. Slow twists of willow branch wheezing out his time. Night birds rush overhead, the sound of a zippered wind. gust and heart pound, tucked away in a rhythmia of motion. I won't tell you how easily it can stop, but for the hammock, ask that man his swing secret. I often write about wolves and foxes, and this one's called Fox. When the fox died, the whole forest died. What was it about the fox? Clever for sure, wit enough to hold all of his body in dirt. Every now and then, that tail spuriously red, flashing through trees. Damn pretty shame of it all. The last poem I'll read is actually the last poem in the book, and it's called Cosmos. Of the questions left, love, death, this proxy of flower, a shot flew with petals scattering fall. Something of the wind still mauls. Why I take each day on my way home from work, stem snapping, break point of heart. My son saying, don't pick the flower, mummy. I cannot help myself. I need this purple, agape in mouth, so all the world savages such beauties. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lara. I really